My name is Matt Hampton. I'm the Senior Manager of Multimedia Projects with the ASPCA, and I'm going to share a few of our storytelling tips for when you're integrating video into your online strategy. An important element of social engagement is storytelling through video. Video content is a great way to introduce people to your cause and the people and animals who make up your organization. But before you ever pick up a camera, or in many cases a phone, you need to ask yourself some basic questions. The 5 W's in H, who, what, when, where, why, and how, are at the top of the slide here because those are kind of an ever-present set of questions that you can ask yourself throughout the process of filming. Who am I capturing on camera? What are they doing? Why are they doing it? Where are they doing it? Etc., etc. Answering these questions for yourself will help direct the lens of your camera. What's important to me and to my audience? The answer to these questions can sometimes be literal, as in you, the videographer, ask the question of a person and they answer you directly. But more commonly and more effectively in the case of working with animals, what you'll want to do is introduce a person, animal, or situation by letting the viewer see something that can't all be explained at once, and get the viewer to provide the question that's seeking context. This is sometimes called the Jeopardy method because you're giving people the answer and hoping they'll ask a W question that will kickstart their engagement with the story. Shooting with an eye towards providing an answer to those questions is a great way to get viewers to stay committed to watching video clips. Here's something that I see that I can't explain, so I want to know what happens next. You're playing with the viewer's curiosity, and that's going to work to your advantage. The other questions featured here get to the specifics of what exactly you're going to capture with your camera. Why are you making this video, and what do you want people to do? These are good questions to ask to narrow the focus and scope of what you're filming. If you want people to come to an event, you're going to show something different than you would if you're trying to get someone to adopt an animal. If you want people to volunteer, you're going to show something different than you would if you're soliciting donations. Different videos play differently depending on where they live. Be thinking about whether you're trying to reach out via Facebook or Instagram, or even if you're just going to host your video on your own website. In every case, the audience will be subtly different. A person scrolling through a Facebook feed has a higher threshold to grab their interest than someone who purposefully went to your website looking for information. If you're trying to generate interest in the work that you do, show your audience the beneficiaries, and then show people someone who can speak on their behalf. Maybe it's a vet or a farm worker, maybe it's a pet owner. Every situation is different, and it's up to you how you want to approach each story. There are many ways to tell a story, but the most common structure we use at the ASPCA can be broken down into 3 words that represent the acts or stages of a given video: problem, solution, and change. Introduce your audience to a problem. If the video is about a specific animal, what challenges is that animal facing? Reveal the person or group working to solve the problem. This is the part of the story at which most of the 5 W's and H come in. If we have a problem, the 5 W's and H are the tools we're going to use to discover how your group or the person at the center of the story are going to attack that problem. How have things changed? So with short form videos, there are a lot of different ways to interpret this. Maybe your group had a success story recently and you want to share it. That's great. How did your solution work out? Maybe this video is one of the attempts to solve the problem. So this portion of the video would be a call to action. Donate, volunteer, help us keep track of something online, or sign a petition. Maybe the problem has not been solved and there's a specific stumbling block. Call it out. It's okay for a video to end in that way. Just be sure that your audience knows what, if anything, you want them to do next. What follows are some examples of videos that we've done with the ASPCA. The first is Lee the Kitten. This is a great look at the way in which the ASPCA staff delivers individual attention to kittens that come into our care. This cat was born with a disability. Here's what happens next.
The 2 most obvious things with Lee were that he had multiple toes in his back leg. In his front legs, he had what's called an angular limb deformity, in which his arms fold inwards.
This video is a pretty perfect example of introducing a subject with a problem, revealing the person who will work towards a solution, and then showing how things changed. Montecito. This video was turned around in less than a day and is designed to show people we had responders on the ground during the California mudslides. It's 2 quick interviews and a lot of photos. It shows there are plenty of ways to raise awareness and to show that you're involved.
Hey, this is Lauren with the Field Investigations and Response Team. We are out here in Montecito, California, responding to the mudslides that happened last week. We were asked in by Santa Barbara County Animal Services, and we are in the evacuation zone, picking up people's pets that they unfortunately had to leave behind when they had to evacuate in such a hurry. We are taking these pets to Santa Barbara County Animal Services, where they are getting shelter and food and water until their owners can pick them up.
When we were evacuated, we had to leave Snowflake behind, thinking that we just had a day or two, and it's turned out it's going to be a lot longer. And we went to a great community meeting that told us how you all were rescuing animals. We called this morning. By noon, we had you. You have made our cat happy. You've made us happy. We thought we would never see her again. And if it wasn't for you all, I'm telling you, you just brought joy to our life and our family and our community, and we thank you first responders. Really, thank you.
There are a lot of things this video does well. The working interview provides context and information, the photos and videos complement each other really well, and then we get a testimonial from someone whose cat was rescued as a part of the operation. The next video is about puppy leasing. This video was designed to raise awareness of an issue that's become common nationwide in a way that many people still haven't heard of. It was combined with an effort to gather petition signatures.
We were put in a room, and they kept bringing different dogs to us, and they brought in Harley, and we just fell in love with her. Really felt pressured into the whole process, and signed paperwork. It was just rushed at me. Here, sign this, initial here, sign here.
Puppy leasing is a form of financing which does not transfer the ownership of the dog or cat in question until all of the lease payments have been completed. The fees and interest on this leasing are not fully disclosed and can be inordinately expensive, and so it is very much predatory in nature.
If I had stayed with the lease and paid monthly like they wanted to, by the time the lease was done, I would have had paid double for this dog.
We see these types of practices occurring in almost every state at this point. So the ASPCA is working to encourage legislatures to ban the practice of puppy leasing.
It was a horrible experience. I would never do it again. I would definitely go to a shelter now.
This video is a good example of the kind of thing you can do if there's a problem that hasn't been solved yet and not many people know about it. Show someone who's been impacted, and then bring in one of your own experts to help people understand the issue. You have an emotional connection and an opportunity to educate. One thing all these videos have in common is that they're under 90 seconds. They all manage to tell a complete story very economically. All of these video examples shown here were made with nonlinear editing software on a computer, but thanks to apps like Adobe Spark and iMovie, it's possible to achieve results like this on a smaller scale from your phone. Some practical tips. When you're shooting, whether with a camera or a phone, do yourself and your editors a favor by shooting close-up, medium, and wide. If you have time to do it, capturing everything you shoot from a variety of angles will place the action in space for people and allow them to connect to it more naturally. Remember to shoot with your senses. This is another thing to help people connect to the animals and people who are at the center of your message. How can your camera help bring sounds, sights, smells to life? Pay attention to what they are in a given scene. Faces are also important. The pictures here kind of illustrate that. Both of these are accurate photos of this dog and his kind of funny posture, but we only really connect with one of them, and it's the one on the left because we're seeing his face. This video had just a few examples of ways you can tell a story with the animals in your care, whether or not you've got a budget and cameras, or just your phone and a free app. Remembering a few of these principles of storytelling will help audiences online connect with your organization in a variety of ways.